In fact, glad good afternoon to one and all. And I'm Karthikeya Kumar, and I'm from Hyderabad. Basically, I've been working for the past 16 years as a consultant HR, and also I'm a cybersecurity advisor. So, very good afternoon, and happy to see you all here. Today, this session is all about women and girl safety in cyber world. So before I go ahead and start the session, I have a couple of requests for all of you. I request all the participants to mute themselves in terms of audio and video mode, because many might be using their mobile phones. So it requires a lot of internet again for them to reach all of us. So it's a good time, like we can go ahead and start off now. So thanks to everyone for being a part of this session. This will go for another 1 hour, where we can also discuss any queries. Yes, you can use the chat window to actually post your queries on this. You can use the chat window. You can raise your hand. I'll address the answer. I'll address all the queries. So do not hesitate to ask. Let us make it a more interactive session. Whatever the knowledge I have in terms of cybersecurity and how women can protect themselves. The reason why I made this exclusively for girls, most of them participants, we have a couple of people because they have wanted to share the information to the girl students. But again, the reason why we made this very particular to all of you is this is a most important thing for the day, women's security. So let's go ahead and take the session ahead. Before I start the session, I would like to thank particularly the director of Anwarul Ulum College, Dr. Sheikh Shafiqur Rahman. And also, I would like to thank Vinodini Madam also for making me a part of this session today to be a presenter. So thanks to both of you, and it's really a great session and addressing your students also. This is primarily done for this college, and we have other participants from different colleges also. So what is the purpose of this particular topic today? Why we are discussing more on women and girl safety in cyber world? Because the most important thing here, what we find is nowadays, because of this cyber, it is becoming very easy for anyone to get into a trap of others. So when I say if it is a trap, so that means knowingly or unknowingly, with or without our knowledge, we are getting into someone's web, we are getting into someone's you know authentication, or someone is getting into our world and trying to completely disturb whatever we have in this particular world, our world. And then what, they really disturb all of our life. So what am I going to speak today? What are the common challenges? I have a couple of cases which happened in the real time very recently. I have that examples also. What are the precautions to be taken? What are the things we should not do when we are on cyber or when we are on internet? And if you want to grow as a cyber security warrior, a girl as a cyber security warrior, or a woman as a cyber security warrior, what sort of career choices we have in future? So what are the things we need to learn? It is very, very important. Even if you're a management student, it doesn't matter whether you're a management or a technology or any graduate to that matter. It is very important to learn, you as a cybersecurity expert or a warrior, what is that one can do and what is that one should do. It's not a task, it's a responsibility. Cybersecurity knowledge is a responsibility. Today, I can say it is almost equal to Corona. You don't know how it will come in, where it will settle, how it will damage. But end of the day, we see a damage happening, and this damage typically makes a big, big, big concern to many families. I have seen people where the families got badly disturbed, distracted, and in fact, many families are on roads today just because of very, very minor issues. How are they happening? Are they happening with our knowledge or without our knowledge? Why is this cyber so important? Why is that we are trying to actually put it on a high note, like on a very bright light? Why everyone speaks about cyber? Everyone speaks about cyber, undoubtedly. I'm talking about it, everyone. But only few are able to learn that. Point number one. And point number two, not that everyone are teaching that. And point number three, what do you need to have if you want to learn cybersecurity, and what you can do if after learning cybersecurity? So all these points we are going to actually look at today. I have actually 1 hour of time, so I'll try to finish as early as possible from my end. So let's start us. The most need of the day. You see here a girl with a sword. which is the most important thing, women in cybersecurity. Yes, the reason why I'm talking about women in cybersecurity is it is the most important thing where people are very, very, very much interested, because a woman can only protect other women. I mean, there are other things that can happen because of women also, but let me be very honest. If you are a woman or a girl who are into cybersecurity, you yourself can experience and understand what are the challenges that are coming up and how can you fight against them. So don't think that getting into a cyber or getting into a police or getting into IPS is not a right thing. Yes, you have to. You need to. We have women in Navy, we have women in Army, Defense, other naval services. When we have all these things, why can't we get into a cyber world as an expert? We already have people. So let us see what all the things we can do here. Now we have certain challenges, if I have to majorly address. So what are the challenges? Number one, blindly believing the friends online, especially girls, do not accept or join any groups if you don't know the invitee really well. Now, if, for example, if I'm inviting you to join in my group of experts or in my group of trainees, before blindly accepting invitation, whether it is by Karthik or anyone, you try to understand who is Karthik, why is he inviting me. If he has someone whom you can identify and inquire about him, do that, no problem. You can investigate, you have to do that. See, what I'm saying, trying to say is, when you don't investigate, when you don't inquire, when you don't do all these things, what is going to happen? You'll blindly get into a group, and what sort of problems are coming up, we are going to see. Inquire who is the invitee and what is the group all about. Don't just blindly join a group and what is it all about. And when you are into a group, do maximum probing, investigate, ask why is the group, what is the purpose, why did you start it. Not that everyone who joins a group, I mean who forms a group, is professionally running it. Not that everyone who is trying to make a group is is a real time expert. And not only that, if you're joining some groups in a professional title, you don't know what sort of other than learning what other businesses are running in those groups. I've been out of such many groups. People invite me, people add me into that groups, saying like, Karthik ji, you just come into this. Once I step in, the first question from my end would be, what is the purpose of the group, what is the motto? Just 2 days ago, one of the insurance company has added me into the group, saying like one of the top international leadership coach is going to address. He's a celebrity. He will be addressing all the participants in this group of insurance company, and they will be doing all this. I said, I'm not interested. I came out again. They added me. Again, I came out again. They added me. Now, what did I do? I totally blocked them. You have every right. You have every right as a woman, as a girl, to inquire why are you there, what is the purpose, is it really useful for you or not. And if anyone brought you into the group, then if you think it is unsafe, then move out of the group. As I said, don't stay in the group anymore. Immediately you just move out. If they try to again disturb, again move out. Third time, lock them, just block them, because that might not be the group which is relevant to you. That might not be the safest group for a girl or a woman there, where you're really getting some irritating messages. See, I'm across almost now 41 professional WhatsApp groups, and I came out of somewhere around 19 unprofessional WhatsApp groups. When I say unprofessional, they're all the groups that are created for their marketing or administration. I mean, like any business purpose. See, when I'm not interested to be into that group, why should I be? So that is something I really expect people to do. Girls, do not kindly accept any group invitations. Be aware, right? So, in general terms, when we speak about cyber crimes, the basic definition would be the crime that happens over online. There are a lot of crimes that happen over online. We'll see them. And cyber bullying, people irritate you, people tease you, people harass you. Lot of, you know, lot of activities on a daily basis. We see hundreds of cases getting reported on a daily basis in various police stations, which are exclusively meant for cyber security for women and anyone to that matter. But most of the cases come under this. So when I say what are the cyber crimes and cyber bullying types, number one is the harassment. As I said, you are into some group, you have been, I mean, like, if you are into that particular group, you don't know who is pinging you, who is sending you a message. They might try to know your number, they might harass you. I have seen a lot of cases like this. In fact, we virtually got them, I mean, caught hold of them when they were doing this activity. So when a person was literally doing this bullying activity like harassment online, so we made the person, the victim, to stay online to just continue this. It need not be on the email. It can even be on the call or WhatsApp also. So we made that person to be on the call, just keep talking to him, keep listening to them. But on the other side, we monitored from where this person is actually doing all this, and we could catch hold of him. So do not entertain new people or unknown people. Now, number two, cyber stalking. When I say cyber stalking, see, it's basically a behavior in which I gave the definition very clearly. An individual willfully and repeatedly engages in a knowing course of harassing conducted directed at another person, which reasonably and seriously alarms. When there is no point of talking to a new person, but still you find people who really wanted to show their improper behavior, the way in which they can harass a person, they can actually take the, you know, I can say they can rather threaten the person in a way that you cannot even imagine to what extent it will go. That makes the other victim to even go for a self assassination. There are such cases. This I can say cyber pornography. This is one of the most important case. So the most recent issue was DPS MMS scandal. Okay, this three, it is called as number three, is a very famous case. Out of this, an MMS clip of a school girl in compromising situation was made and distributed among various internet networks. To all the participants in this group, let me make it very simple. If you are being harassed by someone, if you are being tortured by someone, if someone unknown person is taking your photographs or already taken your photographs, if someone has tried to uh, personally get into your network, the first person whom you need to contact are your parents. Inform them. You resolve the issue. Let the parents handle the issue totally, right? Inform the parents and then let the issue go to the police station. You might feel like it's a self-respect. People might look at us differently. Now already people have started seeing our internet. Then what is left out? You should stop it at one point of time. When you're a school student, when you're a college student, if something goes wrong, the first solution is only with parents. If you think your parents are not helping, then the best solution is only from your teacher, on whom you can rely completely, if you really trust. If there is no such person, don't even trust. Leave it. But blindly don't run behind every friend, because they are the ones who took your photos without your knowledge. And next one, police. Yes, you have every right to go write a complaint, submit it in a police station, and say that this is what happened with me and this is what people have done. You have every authority. You can do that, right? Cyber defamation is one, and email spoofing is another type. We'll do, right? We'll look into everything. This is one of the case I really wanted to explain when as I said initially, it is very clear on the screen. But once the ones in the red, I can read for you. Ritu Kohli case was the India's first cyber stalking case. This lady, she has complained to the police station who was using her identity. Now, for example, what is happening with identity? I'll give you a small example. Earlier days, we used to have a recharge option only by going to the shops instead of doing online. Even though it was there, people were not knowing. Now, even today, when you go to many outlets, you find different Aadhaar cards of many people, various Aadhaar cards. Those who did not take the SIM cards but just left their Aadhaar copies or PAN copies, their electrical bill with a photograph, everything. The applications are just thrown out. The biggest challenge here is that information is being misused. You just go to an outlet, ask them for a SIM card or ask them for a recharge, either do it online, or if you're taking a new SIM card, submit the document, confirm whether the person is really, using it properly or not. Like, you just check if he's taking it and dropping it somewhere. Trust me, I have advised many outlets to use this particular, what do you call, a shredder kind of tool, where they just shred the papers. Because if someone submits a document, you, once the work is done, you just shred it out. Why do you need it? Or if you're submitting with the application, pin it and send it safe. What was happening in the olden days? Most of the time this was happening with the girl students. So a girl who was going to a mobile shop and then trying to recharge her phone, she writes her phone number at that particular shop, and these fellows used to mark a small signal, like they just put a small marker against the girls numbers whom they really want to torture, and the later part they started calling. So this kind of cases, for 3 years back itself, we started getting some complaints. And one day we have sent a person with a phone number. She wrote the number. She started doing this, and we have sent the person in a way that the shop fellow was very much, because we already got to know that he's doing a lot of things. So this fellow was in our trap. We could find that this fellow was doing all these things. So this girl who went from our end, she wrote the number. He made the mark. She found that, because she again went back saying like, did I want to check if I wrote the number correctly or not? He said yes. Check, but there was a tick mark just before the number. Usually what will happen, even if they put a tick in front of us, we think that okay, they have done the recharge, they wanted some audit kind of, they want to check how many are successful and failure. No, it's not the case. So like this, they started calling the people, harassing, blah blah blah. The same thing, our identity is being thefted, like it is robbed. So this lady has first time filed a complaint that her identity has been taken and has been placed over internet in an improper manner. Now he has been arrested. See, uh, the challenge was, even today you see a lot of public places, there used to be some girls names or women name and phone numbers. The most indisciplined, or rather say the most shameless character many people are having today. If they have some personal ego with someone or personal issues with someone, they do this activity immediately. Most of the time this happens in many colleges and public places. When and then you find it, even as a responsible citizen, try to stick something on it, try to clear it with some cloth, or call the college or hotel or restaurant fellow or someone who belongs to that particular shop or area. Get it cleaned then and there. You don't know, tomorrow our family members might go on that. So Ritu Kohli has the same, she had the same concern. So she started complaining. She received almost 40 plus calls in 3 days, or even that too in odd hours. Most of the time that come, these calls comes in the late hours, like night after 10, 11 o'clock. So the set called created a havoc in personal life. See, now simple, if you're a married woman, if you get a call at about 10:30, 11 in the night, who repeatedly calls messages, just imagine what would be the disturbance in the family. If a girl is getting the same thing from an unknown number, what would be the disturbance? So immediately the police have arrested. A case has been registered under 509 of Indian Penal Code. Of course, they came out on bail after some time. It's not a non-bailable, but this was considered okay under the Act of Information Technology, Section 72. Now, the accused would also have been got booked under Section 441 of the IPC for criminal trespass and Section 509 for IPC, again outraging the modesty of women. If you really look at the law, there are a lot of cases. I mean, IPC, I can say there are a lot of laws which can really protect the woman. So the first responsibility of a woman or a girl is to know under which law I can be protected. Try to get to know about this. Now, this is another case from Tamil Nadu, a famous case involving a woman. The case is related to a posting of obscene, defamatory, and annoying message about a divorcee woman in Yahoo message group. Earlier days, Yahoo used to be one of the kingmaker. So emails were also forwarded to the victim for the information by accused through a false or email account opened by him in the name of a victim. The posting of the message resulted in annoying phone calls to lady. This is what I said. A lot of phone calls. Of course, this is happening even with many people today. One of my relative who is a placement officer, he got from him I received an email saying that I'm stuck in Malaysia. I don't have any money. Kindly send the money so that I can come back to India. The most unfortunate thing is I received the email at 6 o'clock in the morning. When I called his phone, he was very much in my hometown. And the wonderful thing is, I met him one day before in the hometown. Now, when we inquired everything, one of the student has hacked his email and he has sent this fake email. How do you identify those fake emails? That's a big lesson again. We'll do that. So please do not drop in your email IDs where and then it is not needed. If you go to a shopping mall, do not drop your phone numbers. If someone says we are from so and so club, we will give you a free gift, we'll give you a freebie. Don't just run behind all those freebies and free gifts. Don't drop your personal phone number, personal mail IDs. Even on the screen, if you see at the end, I'll be sharing my dummy email address, which I created for Zoom sessions. Don't use your personal Zoom ID, email IDs for a Zoom session. Create a dummy ID, just use from that. Even if someone tries to hack, yeah, you're still safe. Because the reason why I'm telling is today hacking has become so advanced that the tool will not get disturbed, your browser will not get disturbed, but you don't know who is recording the entire thing on the background. That is something non-predictable. So with all these challenges in place, we need to be very careful about publishing our information in various places. See, especially in terms of women, even in terms of general, I can say this is a statistics we found recently from Indian forensic website. What are the reasons why cyber crimes are increasing? Number one, knowledge of minimum age to join cyber communities like Facebook, Orkut. Orkut used to be one of the biggest revolution in those days. MySpace. People are just blindly joining. People are just blindly joining, and they are making some sort of unwanted things over cyber. If you're joining Facebook, I really wish today that Facebook can actually ask you to upload your Aadhaar card and collect the data from the Aadhaar card. As per the Aadhaar card data, if your date of birth is not, is less than 18 years, that Facebook should not allow you to register. The most unfortunate thing is we have a lot of ways to restrict all this, but we don't implement. So getting into cyber communities, allow others to use one's own email ID, profile ID, passwords. This usually happens in many of the institutions or personal life, thinking that she or he is my colleague or my personal friend. So nothing is going to happen. Corporate sector, beto, like it is a big crime if you share your password. It's a very, very, very non-tolerable crime. Do not share your official, personal email ID, password, or any information to someone who is really, really, really not trustable. Use safety tips like filtering emails, locking personal albums and information on personal walls. If you look at Google Photos, your Gmail ID is linked to Google Photos. If the automatic sync is on, whatever the photos you take on your phone, they'll get stored in the Google Drive. Now that's a big access for the hackers. Stop having an auto sync option. You go to settings, take out the auto sync for whatever the things you don't need. Stop uploading your personal images on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, anything. Do not share that. Mail back to unknown senders of spams like pornographic or erotic or phishing mails. If you get an email, just immediately try to understand by looking at the email address, is it really trustable or not? Just understand the subject. Don't even open the email. If you think it is suspicious, on the left side, you click on the email, directly delete it. Don't even use it. Don't take a chance of opening it. So share personal information or emotions with virtual friends, chat rooms, and then believing in controlling free speech while communicating in the cyberspace, and then read policy guidelines of social networking. Many doesn't do this. Using pseudonyms, people might cheat you with all these things. Okay, a girl might log in as a boy might log in as a girl, and then try to cheat you in terms of money and other aspects. Number one, profile hacking is one of the cyber crime. Profile hacking, and then you have a photo morphing, offers and shopping scams. Trust me, every day I see this on my WhatsApp, saying like, you click this, you have a bumper offer. You click this, you will get this gift freebie. Why are we running? We are worth of earning the money. We can go to a shop, literally we can buy. So why are we just clicking on every free link and then trying to get into someone's scam? When you're trying to order something online, you identify whether is this really a trusted website or not. If it is a trusted website, then only you can do. You get everything on Amazon, Flipkart, but again from Amazon, Flipkart, what type of link is coming? Even yesterday there were a couple of links which I have seen in the groups. Please, women, kindly be careful. Do not forward whatever you get blindly. You're getting into a trap. There are a lot of fellows who really want to do this. You trust me, you really need to get educated. A lot of things. I'll try to help out everyone. Dating apps, and then information theft, cyberbullying. Information theft is just over across email, or even you download some game. Trust me, this is happening most of the times. You don't know what sort of game you download, and from that game in between you get some advertisements which says this is an app or a patch for this particular game, or you click this, you'll get more interesting game. The other one is not going to be a game. It is something which is entering into your phone to actually rob your data. Unfortunate thing is our phones have our phone pay, GPay, everything always on. We don't log off and log in. So your bank information, where is it going? Someone is looking into it. Someone is spying on you. Okay, when you open some websites, you might find some link with or without knowledge. We might click that lands into some other world, and you start getting advertisement like dating apps, offers. You cannot just that easily get out of it. It is very, very big challenge. So do not entertain to all these apps or free offers. Know what next? What are the most common platforms where we actually get caught by any cyber fellow? Smartphone, tablet or digital iPads, digital pads, or social media. Government of India has actually advised, rather warned many people that do not use any information, do not utilize the phones in a way that, like, let me tell you, because I was just going through this. Number one is no phone use for the first 90 minutes after waking up. Nowadays, what is happening? The moment people have to get up, earlier days they used to look at God's photo in the room. Trends have changed. They started looking at their parents' face. Now the generation has changed. The moment they get up, under the pillow there will be a phone. They want to take out that phone and see how many likes, how many comments, how many shares. Are we human beings or are we aliens, or I don't know? Morning, the moment we get up, we stopped wishing parents. We stopped praying to the God. We stopped even forgetting doing a brush and washing the face. We want to see how many likes, how many WhatsApp posts, how many shares. What is it going to get any money? Maybe it might get money for you, but is it safe? At the age of 19, 20, 21, 22, you have ample support from the family to earn the money, to get the money. Why are we running behind all these things? Tablets, social media, as I said, into Facebook, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very, very professional. Twitter is a political platform where people fight on Twitter. But Facebook, I requested many people some thousands of times, do not post your personal photographs on social media, especially Facebook. And we still do it. And I saw people who are like, they just have their Facebook account filled with 5,000 friends. India is already there with 135 crores of population. Now Facebook started increasing the population. ID number one, 5,000 completed. ID number two, 5,000 completed. A person will have 3 4 Facebook IDs saying I have 15,000 friends, 20,000 friends. What is that we are doing with all these friends? If you have a purpose with a friend, talk to them over a call. We invite unknown people. We invite some people where you don't know what they do. There is no photograph on Facebook. We invite and we get all the troubles onto ourselves. So these are the three platforms where you are most probably hacked. And here, what are the applications that are used by all of us? Number one, Facebook, as I said. Number, TikTok. Number two is a TikTok, one of the I can say is one of the biggest viruses that has spread across the globe. TikTok, because this is actually making a lot of families to get into split mode. Wife and husband getting divorced, parents and the children gap, because the kind of videos they do on TikTok is something really going vulgar, viral. I don't know, people get think that if I make a video as a viral, I'll be very popular. What is a popularity? I don't understand. If you want to become a popular, you learn some subject, talk to people, make a video, then you become popular. But this is not the way how we make the things popular, right? So yeah, like Girdhar sir was asking, like app all, FB2 hacking a lot. Yes, Facebook on a daily basis, you have a lot of hacks. I personally experienced a lot of hacks from Facebook. I get some requests. Before I approve the request, I study about the back end of that request. Even after studying, by mistake, I have accepted one or two. But later part, I found that they are all the fake IDs. A boy name with for a girl creates in the name of a boy creates in the name of a girl. They try to trap the people for money, for entertainment, for happiness. Just need to be careful. WhatsApp, stop having more than one WhatsApp number. Every mobile has a WhatsApp clone option, so we have two WhatsApp. What is it? Are you such a busy business person to use a clone WhatsApp also? Dating apps. So this is something increasing more and more and more and more and more. Yesterday there was a survey done, to be very honest with you, in terms of these dating apps and porn sites. Almost 78% of the people are using this on a daily basis just because they are at home without any job. This is the most recent data that we found yesterday. And most of the employees who are working from home, just that they sit on the laptops, they get connected with the clients. Since they cannot go anywhere in between, they're using this. Trust me, you're into very big hacking stage. Entertainment apps, video making apps, please stop downloading all those video making apps. It is your personal life. Why are you taking your personal life into someone's world? Taking the photo in a 780 degrees, 1000-degree angle, just throwing a phone up and then looking at it, and the phone's just rotates, and you get a wonderful idiotic video on this. I mean, I'll be very honest in speaking all this. So last week we had a session with Madhavi Madam again. In fact, she raised all these challenges also. As a law expert, she spoke about this. These are the biggest things that are making very, very, very sound or nuisance in these days. Number one, saree challenge, photo challenge, selfie challenge, couple challenge. Trust me, useless thing. They take their personal space, the most intimate moments, and they put it on online. And the most unfortunate thing is we just clap for every single celebrity. Whatever they do, we clap for them and we say that, oh my God, my favorite hero, heroine have done this. And why can't we try this? They are different. You are different. You are an individual. If something goes wrong with you, there is nobody to save you other than your parents. But if something goes wrong to them, they are people. They know how to get out of this. Just see on the screen. There is a press clipping. This was shared by Madhavi Madam. This was in Times of India. People started taking sari challenge, taking the photographs, uploading onto the YouTubes, uploading on WhatsApp, Facebook. This is a website called Deep Nudes. These fellows started taking these photos. They took these photos, they morphed it, they completely made the other way around, and they started putting it online. Deleting is a second activity, but the moment the photo is already online, uh, just imagine if you upload a status on WhatsApp, within 10-15 minutes you see at least 40-50 people looking at it. So the information is already getting spreaded out. Now what will people think about you? Unfortunately, if your photo is seen in a different way by your neighbor or by your family, can they raise the head and then live in the society? Stop doing all these challenges. Brain freeze challenge, sitting on ice, chain messages. All these are the steps for hacking. I strictly put the things against. I never encourage anyone to send me a chain message. If I repeatedly get it, I block them. I'm seriously telling this because I know what sort of risk they are into and what sort of risk they pull me in. Trust me, these challenges are very dangerous than Corona. At least Corona spreads through one or two people. This is a bulk. I saw people who did this, spending hours together to take a photo of a sari, selfies, photos in 380 degrees, 940 degrees, and then putting across. I mean, like when they start doing a selfie, the mouth goes differently. Or e. Now, what are these poses we are giving? What are we telling the community? We are forgetting that the entire world is looking at us. And today, when you start applying for jobs, the first and foremost thing, the companies will examine your social profiles. What is your availability on social profile? How much time you're spending on social profiles? How much time you take for Facebook? How many hours you spend on WhatsApp? So when you look at all these factors, the company has every chance to reject you because they don't want employees who spend the time on Facebook, WhatsApp, or any other TikTok. They want employees who can work in the office. So your Facebook profiles or your WhatsApp status, do not forget that the entire world is watching you, and one day you might get caught for some or other reason, in a good or in a bad. That's up to you. Now here, why victims do not report if something happens? Don't know how to report the cybercrime. Maybe lack of knowledge. Reporting the incident would not help. If you just report it, it is not in a normal way. You need to follow up. What happened? When is it going to get cleared? Fearing harassment after reporting incident. This is very, very much there. People fear. As I said, Ritu Kohli case, if she would have really had that fear, she wouldn't have done that. But she took a brave step and she went ahead. Do not fear. What will happen? Nothing is going to happen. When your family is with you, nobody can do anything. Fearing harassment after reporting incident. Who will harass you? The person is going to get into jail and you are protected. You can ask for some security. You have every option. You should know your rights to protect social image. When already our image is on a lot of science, what is there in social now? You're already on a social media in a very scientific way, in a different way. Now, where is the image for us left out? So do not do this. Don't think about your social image, science image. It's already getting damaged. First, take a step, stop that spread, and then see how you can be protected. In fear of influential accused. If someone is accused in this case towards the victim in an influential manner, still you take a step. Whether the judgment comes or not is secondary. If you fear to them, the cases will more and more increase. So do not take any step back. Now, I would like to show this one real-time data here. And let me see if I can open this page. Okay. And once that page comes in, I'll show you the data. And here, the future of women in cybersecurity and what are the common mistakes that are happening. We are extremely poor at marketing cybersecurity, especially schools, colleges, and universities. Last week also I raised this point. If you're a college management, if you're a school management, if you're a student, responsible student, you should have that learning by self, or the mark. I mean, your schools and colleges should get a course called cyber security and cyber awareness, where people will understand what are the things to do and not to do. Women need to see other women succeeding, okay, in order to believe that they can succeed too. If you are a woman who is growing, who is succeeding in a field, help others to grow, help others to get protected. That is more important. A woman can only help a woman. Women lack confidence, and we are doing nothing to improve this. Improve this. Yes, that's absolutely true. Many women are lacking their confidence. A lot of cases are coming from tier 2 and tier 3 towns or cities, rather villages, because they don't have an awareness on this. If you are a responsible student, if you want to do some NSS activity, if you want to do some social activity, take up a challenge, go to some rural areas and tier 2 cities or towns, start meeting people, explain them what are the things that are happening because of smartphones. Today, even a small apartment watchman or a rickshaw wala has a smartphone, and the most common app is TikTok. And the way they take the TikTok, trust me, it is somewhere. Educate them on legal aspects, educate them on the technology, and educate them on the threats that are going to that they will be facing in case if they continue the same. So psychological reasons why people tend to mostly spend the time on cyber: loneliness, insecurity, lack of family support. That's one of the reason. Knowledge of computers, they don't know what to browse, what not to browse. Difference in gender perspectives related to internet usage, what sites to see, what not, and what are the things you should upload and what not. And then sociological perspectives, nurturing practices, patriarchal society, family honor, cyber harassment leads to cyber. All these options what you see. And the most important thing is gap between law and technological advancement. As I said, start educating people. That doesn't matter whether you're a student or a working employee. Take some time. If you're ready to do a live video on a TikTok, if you're ready to put your photograph on social media, do a video on some awareness, put it on social media, let people learn from you. Like, you become a celebrity like that. Celebrities are not who just act in movies. You be a celebrity who is teaching the society. And today, I'm very sad, I feel very sad to say that many people are doing this training as a business. I'm away from all those groups. If you really want to do something for the society, just do it in a way that people will really understand it in a different way. You're telling the same thing what everyone knows, but how differently you're telling that is important. I can speak the same content in a different way tomorrow. I can speak the same content in a very different way after day after tomorrow. It all matters how you deliver. Even if you want to, even after 10 years, the people should remember you, that you made a difference in their life. That's important. That's when you can be a celebrity for yourself and people will remember you. Today, I'm getting a lot of feedback from many people that you have been educating us very well. I'm not, see, again, I'm not saying that I'm doing everything for free. Where it is chargeable, I'm charging from them. Where it should be given for free, I'm giving it for free. So, internet addiction, easy availability of internet, anonymity, seeking attention, sexual interaction, no responsibility of action, cyber relationship, love and dating on cyber. Trust me, it's a very big crime. And if you're already into it, just get out of it. Simple. Don't blindly believe. So now the key point comes here. We have seen all the threats. We have seen what are the challenges, what vulnerabilities are there, what are the key aspects that one should take care. Now, why should you learn cyber security, especially women or girl? There are a lot of girls who asked me for cyber security. Now, the funniest part I'll tell you today, if you go outside and start learning, okay, people are just stepping back just because the cost of the course is very high. You want a 5-digit salary, you want a 6-digit salary, but you're not ready to spend a 4-digit for a course where you can learn the best out of the market. I'll show you what sort of salaries are paid. I'll tell you what sort of salaries are paid to the cybersecurity experts. Yesterday, I can say yesterday there was a session from my end on artificial intelligence where I was actually showing them what sort of salaries are paid for the artificial intelligence experts, machine learning experts, and all this. So the moment I shown them like what are the various designations they have, what are the actual, I can say rather, what are the types of designations and packages. Even in India today, if you are a cybersecurity expert, trust me, you have a minimum 5-digit salary or at least a minimum 50K salary as a fresher in a cybersecurity world. But how many of us are ready to get into that is a question here. So average, I can show you across the countries. Okay, I can show the data across the countries in different states. I'm trying to just get in the real-time data. I'm not trying to show you the dummy data here. I'll just stop that PowerPoint screen share and I'll show you some information on the browser. If you can see this, if you look at this information, if you're on a mobile, kindly zoom it. Okay, if you look at this information at an entry level, 3 lakhs to 3,50,000 is an average company pays to a cybersecurity professional. But there are companies who pay at least 6 lakhs to 8 lakhs minimum. Okay, a mid-level ethical hacker is getting a minimum of 5,70,000. Trust me, it can even go up to 10 lakhs. A senior level security officer, 1.2 million to 8 million annually. How many zeros are there? And how much knowledge they have? And see here, one more. Lead security engineer. I'll show you the designations also. In terms of dollars, when you take it into your Indian currency, there are a lot of changes. Just that you need to know what you should learn and what you're not supposed to learn. If we know the difference, yes, we are almost there. We can show that. So I'll come back to the presentation here again. Right. So what to learn? Cybersecurity is an evergreen industry. Travel the world with cybersecurity, a career that serves the greater good, a chance to work with, you know, secret agencies. You can be a spy. You can be a spy. You can just try to monitor. I'm already, trust me, it's been 2 years. I've been into cyber forensic and ethical hacking, and I know what I monitor. Right. So no mathematics. That's why I took this. I know my mathematics is so great that 1 plus 1 is equal to 11. So that's what I'm into. So unlimited potential for growth, a lot of opportunities, variety of industries to choose. Today you name one industry where they don't have cyber need. Every single manufacturing, insurance, e-commerce, every industry needs this today. Only thing is, like, are we really stepping into that world to learn and then be an employee? Because the kind of investment you need to put in learning these courses is not that easy. If you want to learn the basics of ethical hacking, if you want to learn basics of cyber forensic, a minimum charge is at least 4,000 to 5,000 rupees for 1 week, where you will be taught the basics. Again, I'm not saying that you will be made a master. If you want to get certified, yes, 15,000, 20,000, 25,000, 30,000. And if once you get certified, what are your salaries? 50,000, 60,000, or at least 40, 50,000. Sir, even a normal software engineer gets that. No, but his work is different from your work. The more you are into expertise, your designations change. I'll show you what are they. Entry level, if you want to get into an entry level IT job, you can be a system administrator, you can be a database administrator, you can be a web administrator, you can be a web developer, network admin, IT technician, all this. Now, what are the uses? If you are a system administrator in a company, your prime job will be who are the people who are getting into your systems in an improper manner. That is what you call computer forensic. You deal with your entire systems and the data inside. If you are a database administrator, you'll primarily focus on the database security and allowing and exiting of various databases and transactional analysis, everything. And then web administrator and web developers, what set of secured websites you are preparing, how far that security is there, what is the framework you are coming up with. And then network administrator, if someone suspiciously plugs in a USB pen drive into a computer, like a desktop or an office laptop, you'll be the first to get to know that someone is trying to intrude into the network to copy something. If someone tries to hack your network, if you're really a good network hacker, you can intrude. At the same time, if you're really a good defender, you can easily identify that someone is trying to do it. Even now, I can monitor whoever are there in this participant's room. I'm still screening from on the other end. That is actually happening. Security administrator, network engineer, computer software engineer, lot of roles. There are a lot of courses that you can learn. What are they? Again, these are something. See, you can be a senior after some experience. You can be a senior security software developer, security architect career path. If you're a security software developer, you can work with McAfee, you can work with Kaspersky, you can work with Quick Heal, you can work with Cisco. Name the company you're there. You can work with Facebook, Apple, Microsoft also. Security consultant, ethical hacker. In ethical hacking, let me make it very clear. If you want to be a gray hat hacker, then you become a ethical hacker. If you want to be a black hat or even the worst of the red hat hacking, then you be ready to be a criminal. You cannot be a criminal by doing these two. I mean, you should not be a criminal. Ethical hacking is taught and you will be certified as a gray hat hacker. That means you are legally allowed. There was a case last week. So there was a case last week where a student has asked me, sir, one of my uncle is missing. I'll give you the phone number. You kindly track him. I said, you need to legally file a complaint and then only we can do. Okay, no worries. I'll give you his mail ID. At least show me his password so that through the Gmail account, I can track him where he is. Why are we running behind all this? If you are really bothered about your uncle, go to a police station and complain. And they say that we cannot do that. We want to do it illegally because our respect matters. Respect is already outside. The head of the house is out. Now identify. Police will do it very confidentially if you request. The police can take it very secretly. If you want to do it secretly, tomorrow if something goes wrong, for example, if I have helped him with the Gmail ID password, tomorrow the same person will come back and say, who are you to give my Gmail password to that fellow whom I don't know? And I'll be behind the bars. So I really don't want that to happen. You can be an IT technician, everything. There are a lot of options. Now, responsibilities. Yes, you can be a cyber incident response expert. You can be an investigative technique expert. All these things are there. And I'll show you some designations. Right. Globally, I'm just trying to help you with the designations of the people as I earlier shown. You can be a lead software security engineer. You can be a chief security engineer. There are a lot of career choices that one can actually try to identify. Now, common challenges. Again, I'm coming back to the common challenges that are really bothering the people these days. What are the common challenges? Getting into a room or getting into a space where you don't know someone who is monitoring you. I'll give you the best example. Recently, there was a case in New Delhi in terms of Instagram. A group of boys in Delhi have created a room. This was very much there on internet. The news was spread across. These boys created a group in name of certain girl, and the group was actually trying to understand how to irritate a girl, how to harass a girl, how to rape a girl. Kindly stop blindly believing the fellows and get into groups or rooms. Whether it is Instagram, whether it is cyber security, whether it is a Facebook, whether it is a WhatsApp, anything. Now, this is what I would like to discuss. There are a lot of courses, there are a lot of tools one can learn. Nmap is a one tool. And then I can say, apart from Nmap, we have AutoSpy is another tool which you can use to monitor what sort of network intrusion is happening into your computers. And then I can also share, if you can bear with me for one quick minute, I can share some more details here. Just kindly bear with me for 1 minute. We are almost there. And after this, we'll have a 5 to 8 minutes of interaction with all of you. You can raise the questions and I'll see what best I can help you all with this. So because I was just trying to see if I can get you the details of, what are the challenges we have in cyber. Yes, there it goes. Girdagaru, he's asking cyber security versus cyber photographer salary. Sir, cyber photographer, I don't really think you have such a great designation, but yes, cyber photographer salary wise, I cannot particularly say that this is a salary, but I'll get back to you on this. I'll personally talk to you. And salary for a fresher, Syed Ashia. Yes, for salary for a fresher, as I initially said, with top-notch companies, it starts at 3 to 5 lakhs or even beyond that at times, depending on your course, what you have done. If you're a cyber forensic expert, yes, that's a totally different thing, what you get. And yes, here is a slide for you. I'm just going to share something important here. See, when you look at the statistics, the desktops and laptops are the most vulnerable cyber crimes, just because most of the crimes happen, majority happen from your desktop or laptop. and your next level is a smartphone, next level is your tablet, and next level is the most freebie. We get Wi-Fi whenever we sit in a metro station, whenever we sit in a railway station, even normally we try to, or in a public space, a public space, we try to look for a free Wi-Fi. When you're into Wi-Fi, you're easily hacked. It's not having such a great workforce model or a protocol where unwanted intrusions can be controlled into this. Servers and server rooms and routers. Now anybody can they can hack my ACT router here. There is a way to do it. Leading malware carriers through email, that can be over the web and other modes. Once it comes to the email, however you open it, that can be hacked. Trojan, I can say Trojan. Just give me one. Can you suggest us some of the best courses where the people who think of cyber as difficult task, you can survive in this field? Yes, I'll definitely tell you. This question is from Kanaka Mahalakshmi Garu. I'll definitely tell you, madam. So before that, let me complete this. Trojans. Last before week, I was doing a demonstration on cyber forensic, and we were having an interaction. I personally took the risk of, actually demonstrating this, and my system got affected with Trojans, and the entire data got collapsed. I know it will collapse, but still I have recovered it. My entire data is safe. I was worried a little bit, but still it took 2 days to get back my data. Now how this Trojan has come, I just went ahead and downloaded some unknown software without verifying its certification, and then it affected my computer, right? So we have questions. Dear sir, many kinds of addicted like TikTok, how to avoid? Stop using TikTok. Avoiding is very simple. I'll tell you, self-discipline, self-realization. These are the two things. If we know these two things, we can avoid even a smartphone. We can live with a Nokia 1100. I think a college student should use a maximum of Nokia 1100, or even not even that. Why do you need a smartphone? If you say that learning is done on smartphone, what are we learning? Is it subject or some other object? A lot of things. See, I wanted to show you this. I don't want to speak about digital forensic here. Top 10 security jobs in cyber security. Jobs that are there. You can be a cryptographer. You can be a chief information security officer. You can be a chief security engineer. Look at the salaries. You can be a forensic expert. The kind of salaries that they are giving. Can you make a webinar on how Corona affects BTech graduates and placement? Yes, we'll definitely do. You can let me know. And before that, I have something important to share. I see many of them directly must have participated in this session. Whoever sends me this feedback form, they will all get the certificates. Those who already registered, they will still get it. But again, those who have missed out, yes, you need to send me a feedback form on this. That's when you will get your certificate online. From my end. So let me get back to this. We'll definitely do it, madam. We'll conduct a webinar on Corona effects on beta graduates and placements. There's a lot of effect. As an HR, I can say. So you can be a digital forensic analyst, all these things. How much is that you are going to spend on a course, and what type of courses are available? What type of courses are available? Very simple. There are a lot of courses. As you see all the titles here, as you see the titles over here, it's all clear. You can learn the course as a cyber forensic expert. You can learn the course of ethical hacking. You can learn the course of system expert, like IT networking expert. And you can be a system expert, like a digital forensic expert, where you deal about the entire system hard drive or system internal components. And you can be a mobile forensic expert. You can be a I can rather say, what do you call this one, a laptop expert also, because there is again a lot of difference in technology. I'll definitely, those who have who would like to know the career options in this, they can definitely mail me on this. I will share you all those details. And before that, I have one last thing to share with you. So there are a lot of courses which you can find on online, where you can do all these things. But when I say about the courses, all these courses must be certified through one or other particular company. You cannot just take the course like the way you wanted to. Ensure that you are getting the courses done from a certified expert. Ensure that you are learning the course from a person who is actually there since in this field since a very long time, who can explain whatever you wanted to, right? So just give me 1 minute. I'll show you. I'll try to share. If not, I'll again share everything on the email also. You can be a certified phishing expert, certified ethical hacking expert. You can be a certified mobile hacking expert. You can be a certified, I can say, technology expert, networking expert. We have a lot of forensic aspects, as I said. When I speak about the forensic, you can be a forensic expert in all these things. I'll show you. This is the one I would like to share. Yeah. See this on the right side of the screen. You see this. You can be a disk forensic expert. You can learn the course of network forensic, wireless forensic, database forensic, malware forensic, email forensic, memory forensic, mobile phone forensic. The same things in terms of ethical hacking or even general hacking. Like how can someone hack your hard disk? Somebody, how can someone hack your network? How can someone hack your wireless device? How can someone I mean, like how someone can hack your database? How can somebody get into your emails? See, all these headings are the common. Just the thing is, whether you are into ethical hacking or you are into forensic is the thing. Now, what do you need to do to learn these courses is very simple. You need to identify who is going to train you, and you need to identify who will help you in learning all these courses, because that is also very important. Just give me 1 minute. We have a lot of questions here. Sir, please send this webinar to our personal address. You will get it. While downloading apps or data documents, how to know if it is a genuine or not? Yes, madam. Before you start downloading something, number one, you need to look at the reviews, and number two, every website will have a digital certificate or the authentication certificate. You need to verify that. If you suspect the same app with 10 different names with 10 different images, kindly don't download. Okay. If you really want to learn something, there are authorized official apps like Udemy, Coursera. Okay. So like this, there are certain apps. If you want to play games, I really don't suggest to download games these days. So make sure you are very much careful in knowing the certification or authentication of that particular app. You can find the details over the app itself. Okay. Hi, sir. I want to learn this course. Can you please guide me? Whoever would like to learn the course can directly, actually send me the details. I will definitely help you with all the information what you're looking for. So here, what I'm going to do is I have a lot of details in terms of courses, and we are starting another batch in the next week. So already we completed one batch. I'll definitely share all of those with you. This video will be shared. I have other question. Recently, my son lost his phone. How to locate? If your son has lost the phone, the first thing you need to do is you need to complain. And number two, even if they have taken out the SIM card, you can identify the phone with the IMEI. If it is for an iPhone, you can raise an issue with the Apple company where they can try to locate. But let me very honestly tell you, these days, if you are losing your phone, the time you spend to get it back, rather you buy a better phone. Simple. Because it's a very, very, very rare case that you will find your lost phone again. Many, very rare case. There are many less scenarios where you must have found it coming back. So my TikTok account is private. Is there any chance to hack my data? How can you say that it is private? See, for example, if you are playing your TikTok on some social media, okay, you must have seen like it's a private one. No one can see it. But if you start sharing with someone, they might not be able to again share it, but they can record the entire data through a recording option, right? Screen recording. Now today my phone has that information. If you say that I'm sending information to you which cannot be shared to anyone, I can take a snap and send it. That's a crime. Crime has every possibility, every intrusion. Just make sure that you're not sending it to unknown people. Private, when someone could set the company, I mean the tool in a private mode, they must be already knowing how to get it into public. So there's nothing like advanced secured. Which qualification required to learn these courses? Sir, qualification is anything. You can be an engineer, you can be anyone. You can be a law student, you can be an engineering student, you can be a management student. But only thing is you need to get certified. That's it. Yesterday, even Udemy got hacked. Now let me ask you people, Zoom, Udemy, everything. Are we really getting any authorized information that Udemy or Zoom is being hacked from any cyber security in authorized portal? Did we see that information? If it is really the case, why are we all on the Zoom or Udemy? Hundreds of people. I really never get a, I mean, till date, I did not get any complaint in the last 1 week on any Zoom. And in the last 15 days, Zoom has given 16 patches, and that is one of the highest security it could give in the last few years. If Udemy got hacked, then let us try to check where it got hacked and who hacked it, and in fact what has happened after hacking. Vinodini madam, I will definitely investigate on this and I'll identify if Udemy news is really true or not, right? So Akila garu, Zoom app is safe. Again I said app is safe, browser is safe, but if someone is recording the screen, that security you need to please do not download any invalid software or applications on your computers. Do not allow any unwanted emails to get into your computers. Now here, if you don't accept the unknown ID request, then how can we be saved from the hacker? Now why do you need to have, see, when you open Gmail, I'll share the screen here. If I'm opening my Gmail, I'll show you. See, if this is my Gmail account I have opened, I'll show you the screenshot. We are all educated, most of us. Now I open any email only after reading the subject which comes here on the screen. You see this subject, whatever is found here on the screen. See this. If I find this subject is not relevant to me, see, for example, this Iravia learning, what is a profession tax, why does it differ from state to another? Somehow they got my email address, they started sending me the data, but I don't really need it. So what am I doing here? Every time when I get that data, I just click it, delete. If it is repeatedly coming, I'll go there, click on it, unsubscribe. You have an option to do that at the end of the page. Just go to that, unsubscribe. See, for example, here, Iravia learning. So for example, if I really don't want to continue anymore, I don't want to get anything here, I'll really look for an unsubscribe option. If it is not available here, I'll go to the website and I'll definitely do it. So you have every choice to block the people. You don't need to bother that someone is trying to intrude, right? Now let me look at any other questions on the chat here. Thank you, Dr. Ruchi Sinha and Akhila Garu, and any other questions on the top which we need to see. Oh my God, where is the chat window gone here? Yeah, I'm on the chat. My TikTok is safe, private. We are just addressed it. So if we don't accept the unknown ID, so how I can learn this course? If we don't accept the unknown ID request, how can we be saved? As I said, don't allow anyone, right? I'll be sending all these details to everyone on this particular page. And let me all request you, I have shared the feedback link already. I have shared the feedback link. Along with that, I'm again sending the link for registration. If you have already registered, you will get your certificate. If you have not registered and directly participated in this session from some source, it's still okay. But if you send me your information on this, yes, then only we'll be able to, right? All of you will get certificates. There is no insecurity. If you think that it is going to be insecure, don't fill your mobile number. You can just send your email address and name. I'll still send you your certificates. I'm leaving you the option if you think that it is not useful, right? So thank you very much for all your participation. I would like to see if anyone would like to raise any questions. Any questions we have to discuss here? Certainly I will share all the course details, what we can do, and you can look into it. There are a lot of websites also. I'll definitely do it.
Hi, good afternoon, Karthikeya sir. Namaskar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hi, sir.
Sir, WhatsApp all is privacy only, no WhatsApp status and all these things.
Sir, WhatsApp status, if you put something in WhatsApp status, it is going to every single public, right? Everybody can see it.
Only contacts. Okay, it was saving contacts, right?
No, it will be saving contacts, but again, it's not 100% secured. If you start sharing something, it is again, there is always a gateway to get into it. See, people think that if I chat with someone, if I can erase the data on WhatsApp, that means nobody can track it. Let me make it very simple, sir, for everyone. Today, if we are posting some information on WhatsApp, Facebook, or any advanced social media, the data from our computer or from our phone is not just staying in our device. It is staying in a third party location. And you don't know what that third party person will use. How will he use the data? How will they make use of that particular data? There is a statistics, or there is a news rather, that every single information of ours is being sold out at a cost of 3,500 rupees to various companies. My information is already sold out. Just imagine, I took an Airtel SIM card And how will my number go to an insurance company? How will my number go to a marketing company? How will my number go to a fellow who doesn't even know me? We get some calls saying like, we are from so and so insurance company, and after at the end of the call they say, sir, may I know your name? You have been talking to someone who doesn't even know your name and you are giving all the details. If you get such calls, block them. I advise everyone to install Truecaller, because that will help you to identify the fake and original things. If you find something in red, immediately block it. Don't even use don't even answer that call. Data security, whether it is a WhatsApp, Facebook, even if it is, if they say 99% we are secured, 1% leakage is always there. In a plumber language, I can say that somewhere there is a 1% leakage. Even if I thread it very, very, very tight, still it is there. Be careful while putting the things on status. Be careful while posting the photographs. Please, please, please.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question,
Yes,
I want to know how to hack the things also. So ethical hacking.
it can be done, sir, but ethical hacking, it's a wonderful course, but very dangerous course. It is like you're pulling yourself into a problem. Because tomorrow, if you try to help someone, you will get the question from the police department, who allowed you to do this?
Yes.
Even though you do the course, you should be informing, you should be authorized to work either from a company or from the government. You cannot just do it like on yourself. If you do it and if something goes wrong, we are caught very badly. That's going to really take out the happiness.
Thanks for a wonderful session.
Thank you, sir. Vinodri ma'am, you have anything to add? You are the one who actually helped me to be here today. Vinodri ma'am.
Yeah, I'm there. Am
Yes,
I
ma'am.
audible?
Yes.
You've come out with a lot of insights pertaining to this particular cyber related crimes you can talk about, or hacking. But
Yes, ma'am.
you have given a lot of insights to us. And today it is the age of what do you call kids, right from infant stage.
Right.
People started scrolling before crawling.
Right.
Yeah. So in
Right.
that situation, we have to make sure that we are not really relying or believing unknown person. Certainly, if somebody comes to us,
Right.
unless until we know them perfectly, we really don't talk to them also. We just shutter our door. Similarly, when it comes to some outside mails, or when we talk about a WhatsApp message or something, we don't have to respond them. We don't have to add them.
Exactly.
Right? We have every right. So what I feel is that these are certain precautionary measures from our side only. If we take it, right, somewhere we can protect ourselves or minimize the threat. This is what I came to know. So we have to have our own self disciplines, what I feel.
Yes.
That's what I know. Unless until we have our own discipline, it's very difficult for us to make sure somebody intrude in our personal lives.
Right. You're right.
So these are the few, whatever the insights you have given, they are wonderful, and we certainly take note. And on behalf of our Anwar Ulum College of Business Management, I really thank you for a wonderful session. And I hope all the ladies and the girls got insights. And please share your email ID so that students and attendees will get the participant certificates.
Yes, madam. It's already done. I've shared it. And one more thing I would like to share here quickly before I wind up. The one thing here I would like to share is I want to show an image which is really important today. Just look at this, the side effects of smartphones according to the millennials. This is what happening with most of us during the bedtime, during the day, and that too during Corona time, being very, very, very jobless, or without any major works. We spend most of the time on our tablets or iPads or smartphones. 59% is leading to anxiety. 38% are into depression. 44% of accidents. This is still a fashion. People have their earphones and they drive saying that I'm getting some call. Unfortunate thing is they'll be listening to the music and they can't hear who is blowing the horn on the back. And obesity, just sitting at home eating and just having a phone like this, eating and resting. Sleeplessness, I see that most of the people spend, if you collect the data properly from authorized Airtel store, most of the internet high usage happens from night 11 o'clock to morning 3 o'clock. People spend hours together. People spend just hours together like anything on the during these times, and they just try to throw an information that we are really there to trouble ourselves and pull ourselves into problem. This is something, see, I would like to share this. This is one big image I really love. Don't misunderstand this image, but this is an open fact. Smartphone addiction for any ages, it's not for particular boys or girls or any ages. The first image here, this is a prime reason why a lot of divorce cases are increasing in day by day. Man doesn't know, I mean, a wife cannot understand with whom husband is chatting, husband don't know with whom wife is chatting, and on one of the day they chat with one person in common, and that person is their family lawyer. They chat with them, and this particular person will help them to, you know, get them divorced. Number two, once a person get into the washroom, it takes 1 hour, half an hour, or more than that. They don't know. Even while eating, we don't know what are we putting into our mouth. We just don't even look. Walking on the roads, we don't know what pits are there. While driving, at the signal. In China, there is a system. In China, we saw this recently. It is there since 1 year almost. Now, if you are at the signal point, if there is a red signal, and if you are supposed to walk on the zebra lines, if you try to step onto the zebra line even on the red signal, 4 pillars will come up like this in front of that zebra line, and they start throwing out water at your feet. So that means they don't want you to move out from there. That's a wonderful technology they have come up with. Even while walking on the roads, see, all this, even while playing, the focus on the sport is very less rather than they taking a photograph. The reason why I'm showing all this today is that these are the common mistakes we are very well knowingly doing. As madam said, again I'm repeating, please do not send, okay, do not try to publish your information anywhere on the portal. Do not publish your information for anything. Okay, so for all those who wanted to give feedback, the girls, again I'm sharing a link here. On this link I'm giving you an option. In case in this registration form or feedback form, if it is asking for the phone number, if you don't want to mention your phone number, you please type it as 00000 and then send your email, add your email address, and still I'll send you the feedback. We don't need your phone number for sending the certificate. We don't need your phone number for certificate. Just put it as 0, and then we'll send you the things, right? Feedback, yes, I have shared a link. Even on the feedback form, you can share your feedback. You don't need to send it on my email address. You can use this link for feedback actually. And even in that, if you don't want to mention your phone number, you can ignore that and you can do it. Okay, so thank you very much for all of you. Thanks for being a part of this today. And this video will be uploaded. Once I get all the details, by end of the day, your certificates and the video link on YouTube will be shared with all of you. Thank you so much. Signing off.
Thank you, Mr. Kartikeya.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.